Welcome back to my playthrough of the LOTY 2024 contest levels, and we move on to David's levels. So first we have David 1, Angkor Temple, and all of these levels are levels nominated from his DavidLems pack, which is his second level pack after the Lemmings Have Grown, which he released back in I think 2020, either 2020 or 2021, but I do believe it was 2020. Yeah, so he followed up with this pack, DavidLems, from last year. And the Angkor Temple, that's alluded to in the lower tile. That's just a reference to Angkor Wat, which is a city in Cambodia. Yeah, and I'm hoping to visit it sometime. Yeah, when I visit Vietnam again. Yeah, I've not visited Vietnam since 2020, which is my first and only time that I've been so far. And I believe I will be going to Vietnam later this year. So around end of September/October, I think. So in about a few months. But anyway, let me go ahead and load up the replay here. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, no intended solutions by David's supplied by David this time, but that's okay. This one I didn't have to resolve, but yeah, there was a change that broke my replay, which had to do with the slider slash basher. So therefore, yeah, I just needed to tweak the replay a little. But anyway, send him up as a climber, and then we're gonna go ahead and bash here. Yeah, make a little gap. He will hit the steel and turn around, and then I immediately make him a blocker once he does. In the meantime, the other normal lemon, we're gonna go ahead and make him stack. And also a climber, sorry. Yep, and then same thing here, put a stack there. And yeah, one of the new nuances in this level, yeah, you have to make this little nook, that's missing in the corners in order to bash and get down to the lower floor. Yeah, you don't take advantage of it, you're not gonna break through and get down lower. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing here, yeah, use that little dent that's missing in the corner in order to break on through and get down and escape the starting area. Make him a slider, and then we're gonna go ahead and make him bash. Yeah, this was what caused my replay to break, so therefore I had to tweak that part though. Yeah, and then once you reach the end, we're gonna go ahead and build in order to leave a step past the thin steel block. Then we make him a glider. Yeah, not a shimmer, because we will need the shimmers elsewhere. Yeah, this is a splat pad here, but it's only a hazard if you fall from above, into the trigger area. Anyway, after collecting the builder pickup, we're gonna go ahead and make him jump, and then shimmy on to go over here to this diamond shape thing. Then bash on through, and then build at this spot over here, where we're gonna go ahead and bash in order to free the blocker, and then I make him jump once he is freed. Yeah, so that he does not hit the steel and then turn back around to the right. Yeah, because we still need him to do some work, because he will be the one to push the button to unlock the exit. Yeah, and then these neutrals, get down safely thanks to this builder step here, and then they fall down the rest of the way safely. Yeah, it's almost a splat fall, but they do survive. Yeah, and then make him a slider. Yep, and then the exit gets unlocked just in time before any neutrals can slip on by. And then finally make him a glider, and that's it. So this blocker is not needed at all. Yeah, it's just a red herring here, from what I can tell. So yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest lows of DavidLems. But it is the penultimate low, at the 400 meters rank. Yeah, which is the final main rank of that pack before the bonus 1 rank. Or 1 minute rank, I should say. Yeah, it's not 1. Yeah, the 1 rank is from PMOLems. David 2, Crystal Dream. Yeah, I don't think I nominate any of these levels. Or rather, I should say any of David's levels. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I just barely realized the rainbow color entrance here. And oh yes, I raised up the release rate to 86, and then I drop it back down to 1 after 3 lemmings. Or rather, these look to be like Millas. little sprites, just in different colors, I guess. So yeah, make the second one laser, and then the third one will block in order to turn the laser around, so that you can destroy the terrain over here. Then make this one a climber. Yeah, a pretty tricky thing over here, and that is, yeah, we're gonna build immediately once it turns around, and this will create enough of a step in order to get them past this wall here. And then we're gonna go ahead and dig here. So, like that. So definitely a very difficult thing to see here, but it is very, very critical to the solution. Yeah, and then build over the gap here, where we're gonna go ahead and get to this button here. Okay, yeah. And then there's another button that we need to get to up here, but I think you can see how. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use a shimmy over here, because lasers are shimmier friendly in DavidLems. Yep, that unlocks the exit. And then another thing that you need to take note of here, and that is you need to place the miner pixel precise here in order to create a little tiny hole here, which will allow us to send up another climber. Yeah, from down here. That's important because we would use the blocker to turn the miner. Yeah, like so. And then finally, just bomb this blocker, and then the others can get to the exit. Yeah, don't bomb this blocker yet, because this climber will need to turn around first. Yeah, now you may bomb the blocker. Or you can just nuke it. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, a very, very nice low. Yeah, and was very satisfying to figure out. But can otherwise be a pretty difficult low, and since you need to do a lot of pixel precise stuff here. And also some tricky timing with that laser, turning it with the blocker. David 3, Lemmings are lost in the jungle. Ooh, this one had me stumped for a really long time. Because, yeah, there's another nuance here that you need to be careful of. Okay, so block there, and then set up a climber, and then, yeah, jump, and then make him glide, and then mine here. Yeah, and then set up another one the same way, climber and then glider, and also jump across the gap. Yeah, and it needs to be, the miner needs to be very close to the edge here, so that, yeah, this happens. The platform does not get interrupted. Was this one of the ones I nominated? I don't think it was, actually. I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, leaves a hole here so that the worker can get down here, who will become a swimmer. But yeah, we didn't have him fall into the water because he needed to do this work up here with the miner and everything. But does it really matter? Yeah, I think it does matter because, yeah, you need to be able to platform across the gap as well. Yeah, and then he's just going to use a little nook there in order to mine the crowd free and also the blocker. Yeah, climber will climb up and then we will also use the nook here and then mine. Yeah, and this miner gets low enough in order to make a turnaround point for this guy. Yeah, and then we interrupt the miner with a shimmer. And there's also a little overhang here so that the climber does not go out over here. And then we're gonna go ahead and jump and then shimmy. Yep, that unlocks the exit. And now we're just gonna help him back up to the exit by giving him a shimmy over here. Because miners are shimmer friendly. Yeah, fencers are not. Because their tunnel is a little too narrow. So, a brief summary, yeah, lasers and miners are shimmer friendly from the beginning, but for fencers you need to widen them with basher in order to make it shimmer friendly. David 4, Let Me Go Shopping Episode 2. Yeah, this is a repeat of the level that was originally found in the, I think, 100 meters rank. And this is the far harder one, and this one had me stumped for a really long time. But it's a very, very nice solution once you realize what needs to happen, though. So yeah, you have three place lemmings here, which cannot be saved, but instead will be collecting the pickups that you need to solve the low. And it's very important that you find the right ones, too. So yeah, collect the jumpers and the digger here. And then here, we're going to go ahead and mine in order to collect the stacker and also 2 builder pickups. And then mine here in order to collect 2 climbers and glider. Yeah, this one is very, very hard to see. Yeah, you actually need to build and get out with one of the pre-placed lemmings in order to collect some more pickups. Yeah, because these will actually not be enough in order to help yourself low. Yeah, this one took me a very long time to see. Yeah, then make him a climber so he can get out. Where we'll collect an additional jumper, basher, and miner. It is a basher, right? Yes. Yep. Now we can go ahead and start with the main the work in the main area. So yeah, have him climb and then glide in order to get to the button, which will unlock the exit. Okay, jump over the gap here. Okay, dig at the very edge. Okay, and then build. Have him turn around so that we can mine out the crowd. Okay, and then you know what should be next? That should be bashing to get to the exit, and that's it. So yeah, a very, very nice level. Yeah, once you figure out the solution, but a very, very difficult one and practically impossible. Yeah, you do not realize this over here. So needless to say, just like Amani said, this is pretty much like hit or miss. Yeah, you either get it very quickly or you're stuck here for a very long time, like I was. David 5 Steel. Yeah, I believe this is a law from the 100 meters rank of DavidLems. Definitely not one of the hardest, but it can still be pretty challenging because again, there are still some nuances of neolimics that you need to use to your advantage here. Anyway, bomb once you're up against the pillar here. Okay, build across the gap. Yeah, and it needs to be at this point. Okay, and then I use the first time with the bomb here. Yeah, and this is important because you need to bomb in such a way so that it takes off that top step of the builder, which will now prevent the others from following this worker over here. Okay, and then build across the gap, of course. Oh yes. And then finally, just use the last builder to release the crowd, and that's it. So yeah, this one doesn't seem too bad, but yeah, for a pretty minimal skill set, this is still somewhat challenging. But in a later repeat, yeah, you actually go out the other side. Yeah, this side rather than this side. So this is how you prevent lemmings spying to the splat pad over here. So yeah, I have to say, this is a pretty nice puzzle. A very nice splat pad puzzle. Alrighty, and finally David 6, the building site. Let's go. This one also comes near the end of the main part, DavidLems pack. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and build here, and then the next one will platform so that he turns around. Okay, the others will take a little detour in order to collect the pickups, and then the one that turns around will build across the gap, of course. So we get, yeah, all these pickups here. So the platformer, builder, stacker, and miner pickups. Okay, and another nuance here. Yeah, you need to build at this exact spot in order to not block the ones from below, but also you need to stretch the bridge in order to make it across the gap. Okay, and then you can just use some timing here. Yeah, and then you build here. Yeah, most definitely some timing here because, yeah, use the third to last lemming here, I think, so that, yeah, only one lemming slips by. Okay, and then platform up the gap, and then he'll turn around where we will mine out the crowd. Yeah, another thing that's very timing critical here that I used. Stack here, and then pretty much around the 6th brick at the stack. Yeah, then I'm gonna go ahead and mine, so that this is enough to get him up here. Then he's going to turn around and mine through the stack. Yeah, this was also pixel precise, I believe, because yeah, you need to make sure that you don't take enough of the terrain up here. so that you can platform up the gap here. Yeah, and you need one lemming far enough ahead in order to stack to see off the gap. Yeah, where we will collect more pickups, and then these guys will eventually make their way back. Yeah, because this is a safe fall, so they're not going to splat or anything. Okay, and then another timing critical thing here as well. Yeah, go ahead and build. Yeah, and then yeah, stacker needs to be placed right here, exactly, so that this can happen. Yeah, the builder helps them get past the stack. Yeah, even though it's at the maximum of 8 stack of bricks. Okay, and then the only thing you can do here is use a builder. Okay, and then stack here. And then go. Blah, blah, blah. I can barely speak. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and mine in order to make a hole so the others can step up from the left side. And then the ones that are trapped here, we'll go ahead and mine. Yeah, and then we're gonna go ahead and stack. Yeah, right underneath the staircase so that the stacker stops. But this is still not tall enough in order to block the lemmings. Yeah, and then finally one more critical spot here, and that is we're gonna go ahead and stack in such a way so that they can still go to the exit, but also don't block the lemmings from down here. And yeah, I believe looking at this solution, it should be possible to do this part so that no one is trapped here on the other side. And then maybe, just maybe, if you are lucky enough, you can stack here before anyone can like slip on by the stacker and get trapped in here. And so you would need to use another miner. So what I'm getting at here is that it's probably possible to save a miner here. And if that happens, then yeah, it should still be an acceptable solution, I would think. But probably calling that miner then, yeah, it's probably a little too harsh in my opinion. So yeah, it doesn't really back route or break the law anyway, so might as well just leave it in, you know? But hey, that's David's law, yeah, not mine. So it's not my decision to make. Alrighty, so with the completion of David's laws, that brings us to the next rank, which is LOTY2024. So this I will cover next time. With this, hope you enjoy my playthrough of the LOTY2024 contest levels, covering David's levels, and I'll see you all next time.